Are you feeling the intensity of this time period now in 2024? For the next unbeknown months until about mid-November, we are going through something that is called Saturn Retrograde. And you don't have to be an astrologer to understand the aspects of and the energies of Saturn. So I'd love to dive in and give you a little bit of wisdom around how to utilize this intense time now. Hi, I'm Amy Elizabeth, your energy evolution mentor, and I'm here to make spirituality simple. Saturn, dun dun dun. When we think of Saturn, a lot of people get concerned, nervous, scared, especially if they have any idea about Saturn, because the first thing we know about Saturn is like somewhere between 25 and 32, we go through Saturn return, and it's when it runs over us and then it backs over us and then it runs over us again, and like all hell breaks loose, or people call it the quarterly crisis. And that's not necessarily true. Saturn is actually the most powerful teacher. It is the second largest planet, the second oldest planet in terms of its consciousness, so says the Vedas. And we get to learn from this consciousness. And so I would love to dive in and share with you all of what I know about Saturn, because when we don't go around, don't go over, and don't go above, but we go through the lessons, these opportunities for growth will catapult us into our highest evolutionary growth. And spiritually, that's what we're all really looking for, so that we can be sort of, if you will, in the 5-class river, just flowing and being taken with, rather than going against the fucking current, right? Because we don't need to make our life harder. Let's really use these energies to help our growth. And what that does, raises our vibe. And what that does is it attracts all the things that we really want in life to us, whether it's personally, professionally, spiritually, financially, relationally. Everything just starts to get magnetized towards us. So, Saturn, our beloved father. They call Saturn Daddy Saturn. Why? Because it is the planet of responsibility and taking full responsibility in your life. And that looks like all the aspects that I just named for you. Right? The way I like to look at Saturn and responsibility is, what are the choices that you're making? And so right now, in this time period, in this moment, right now, until, into November, depending on how energetically sensitive you are, because sometimes we feel things 2 weeks after, 2 weeks before they actually come to a close and then start to move forward. We are in what we call retrograde. And that doesn't mean that the planet's moving backwards like it's all of a sudden in reverse. What it means is it's standing still in the sky. And when it's standing still in the sky, what happens? Just like you're in meditation, you're in a space of expanse. So it's actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So let's shift the mindset around what's negative and positive, because there is no such a thing, right? It's just how we view it, and it's what our perspective is. When a planet is standing still in the sky, it is an opportunity for us to review. And when we're reviewing the consciousness or whatever the story is that this planet is giving us. And so again, Daddy Saturn, the planet of responsibility, the planet of choices, we get to review what choices we have made. And any place that we have not taken responsibility for those choices, we get to go back, clean up that energy, and close that door. It's as if you're doing some spring cleaning right now, even though it's not spring. You're looking inside the closet and you're looking for the cobwebs, and you're cleaning out every little last corner of that closet. And this is super important. Why? Because if you do not, then you are building the foundation of your life on sand. And this is what we've seen with a lot of leaders that fall. They have cracks, rips, holes, and tears in their energetics. And this is not what we can do moving forward. And so if you in any way, shape, or form feel called to do anything in this world, whether it's being a mother or a father, a parent figure and leading your family, or in some way leading your business, or in some way leading your community, or in some way leading yourself, just leading yourself. You cannot lead yourself when you are not coming from a very pure, clean, authentic place. So, responsibility. Super important to look at all the ways that financially you have been irresponsible or responsible, right? So look at the polarity, both the aspects of the spectrum, okay? Look at your relationships. Where have you been irresponsible, or where have you been responsible, and how can you take responsibility for them and clean up those messes? And this might not look like you're going to have clearing conversations with everybody, but you get to have them with yourself. And why? You get to learn from history so it does not repeat itself, or learn from history when it's been beautiful so that it can repeat itself and also be a 4.0 version. That's what Saturn does. Either way on the spectrum of energy. So then let's also look at your spiritual life. What are the things that you're doing in your personal and spiritual development and expansion? How can you take this time and pour light into yourself so that you feel truly 100% when you go into your day? So important. So vital. Why? Because that's how you begin to attract things to you, situations, experiences, and even thought forms. Whether it's outside of yourself or inside of yourself, your vibration has everything to do with whether or not your mind is capable of being able to be clear and direct and ready to ultimately vision and move forward, walking you to your ultimate highest destiny. And that's what Saturn does. It brings us to our destiny. Why? Because it is the planet of karma. What does karma mean? Karma is the action or actions that have been bestowed upon us, right? So it's the way, I like to say, it's kind of whatever, but I like to say that it's the way that the world has thrown up on us. It's what we have allowed in our life. The way we clean up karma is to nip it in the bud immediately. And as my clients will tell you, the second thing that I've taught them is cut the cord, next move on. What do? You clean that up right here and now. Have that conversation. If you're wondering what someone means by something in a conversation, then you clear it up right then and there and you close the loop, because everything in life is circular unless you've created a gap and then all of a sudden you're making some other kind of a symbol or a shape to it, and that's not the wheel of life. The wheel of life is circular, right? I want to express to some of you who may be listening to this video and are going through it in a really big way, and taking responsibility might feel like it's too much. But I promise you that even with all of the big sensations and feelings that you're going through, making the choice to be with those feelings and sensations and those choices that create the feelings and sensations will allow them to pass through you so much easier. And as they do, that karma releases and it goes away. And it goes away forever. And how we shift everything is with awareness. And by feeling the thing and by accepting it, we're no longer rejecting it. And if we're no longer rejecting it, then it's not trying to come back at us and push and push and push and feel so fucking difficult to work through. And so what I'm expressing to you is then the action gets to be taken and a new path gets to be forged, because you've taken that opportunity for growth from history by taking responsibility for your choices and actions. So here's a quick little story. I was reviewing my life. I was reviewing a past relationship. And there were many ways that I could blame or shame or get angry or be frustrated or be bitter or resentful for somebody who was in my life. And instead, I actually saw another perspective of how I got to take responsibility for how I participated in all of that happening. even though it seems like it happened to me, because it wasn't very pretty and it was actually quite vicious and felt like I would be the victim. But I wasn't. I attracted it to me so that this person could be my ultimate teacher. And who are our parents? They are our teachers. We've signed a contract with them in this lifetime so that they could teach us, even though sometimes those relationships are so super difficult. And same with other people who come into our life. Sometimes we feel victimized or like the victim or challenged, or we want to express these lower vibratory energies such as guilt, shame, resentment, bitterness, anger, sadness, yada yada, you name it, whatever the feeling is. But actually, that beautiful, blessed soul has come in to teach us what we needed to see. Even though we went away, we never, ever would have gone. And so we get to take responsibility and choose to forgive them, accept the process, and then move forward in a new way. And how we get to do that is continuing to close the circle and close the loop of whatever situation we're in. Even if it's just a phone call to our family member, our sister, our brother, our friend, our coworker, whatever. And the last thing I'd like to review in this is that karma is not bad. Karma is the opportunity for us to grow. And karma helps catapult us into our highest way of being by how we work with the karma, not against it. And what is Saturn? Saturn is our teacher. It teaches us to take responsibility. It teaches us to make new choices, different choices, or similar choices that expand our consciousness. And it teaches us to be the best version of ourselves and to continue to prune back the things that no longer serve us, those experiences, those people, those situations, the ways of being that don't serve us, even the ways of talking that don't serve us. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. I am so grateful to be able to serve this community because I truly am here to optimize your transformation and your spiritual evolution. So please share, like, and subscribe this with your tribe, your community, your family, and comment below with what was your light bulb moment? How is this supporting you so that I can create more informational and educational videos on things that will help you to live in awe and make your life awesome. Until next time.